Okay, so this is like the last video I want to make or talk about this documentary I saw, which is really pretty good documentary. And just to reiterate, the documentary is about Brazil and how a lot of African American men are traveling to Brazil because they're kind of frustrated with the dating scene in America. So basically, they're saying that they just don't, because of, the society that we live in, that they feel undervalued. But when they go to Brazil, that they feel valued, and that's why they go to Brazil, which is a feeling that I can totally understand about wanting to be loved. And my personal philosophy is that you create your own reality. And a lot of these men in the documentary were complaining about like the type of women they date, or how African American women are materialistic and they don't know their place, and therefore they are not good mates. What makes trips to Brazil like give these guys the side eye is like these trips are not like, I don't know if you ladies or gentlemen have ever talked to any man in general who has been to Brazil. But like these like trips are totally not women friendly. You know what I mean? Like they're like, oh, I went to Brazil. Like, oh, can I go with you? They'd be like, no. And you would think that this place, because it's like I said in the video, apparently it's like utopia. Like, you would think, like, this wonderful brown utopian society, that helps uplift them and makes them feel like men, you think that they would kind of, like, want to make that part of themselves. You know what I mean? Like, one thing I definitely did not get from these gentlemen who, like, love Brazil so much and love the way they're treated is none of them ever address how Brazilian men treat women. And none of them ever discuss wanting to be like those men. Like, all they got is like how they feel about it, how it makes them feel. And I was just like, wow, you would think that they would, like, if it's really about just going down there for the culture and the way you're treated versus maybe like sex, you would think that they would like talk about like how being in that culture taught them how to be a better man, or how like the things that they're learning in that culture they're bringing back to where they're from. Like some of the guys from like Jersey or Philly, like none of them ever talked about that. All they ever talked about was they went there because it made them feel good and it made them feel like a man. But it's like how are we supposed to get better if you're learning something and you're keeping it to yourself? Like, these dudes not bringing their kids, they're not bringing their family, they bringing their homeboys. You know what I mean? And you probably don't want to bring your women. Like they talked about in the video, like, no, I can't bring my wife. Don't bring your girl, man. Don't bring your girl. It's like, wow. But I thought this is about like the experience and like learning and growing and or being like appreciated and being loved correctly. Like, why would you not want to share that if it's so wholesome in nature? You know what I mean? And that's just like what kind of blew me about it. Like, again, you get the side eye from me because if it's really as wholesome as this documentary is like claiming it is, like you would think that they would want to make it this like beautiful experience where they include their families. And a lot of these guys are like single. You would think like if they're getting so much love and they appreciate this place so much, they would be like, oh my God. And they're like trying to find a mate. They would be like marrying these wonderful Brazilian women, but they're not, And what my real problem with this documentary is, and a lot of arguments that Black people specifically make is about how the world has wronged them and how everything else is wrong. And there's no, internal evaluation, growth in any of this documentary complains a lot about what's wrong with the world, but there's no solution in it. It's not about growth, it's not about changing. It's like, okay, well, rather than like take the time to like change myself and attract different kind of American women, because American women are diverse as any other type of woman on the planet, instead I'm gonna get this instant gratification, So it's so funny because they're running away from American culture because it's so wrong, but that they're applying like American culture mindset to this, which is like kind of like perverses like the whole argument. It's like, yeah, I have a problem with American black women, so you know what? I'm just gonna like change the weather and like just go find different ones. Like forget me trying to be a better person or be a better man or trying to change my community or like adopting this wonderful culture and then bringing it to my family and then living by it. Nope, I'm not gonna do any of that. I'm just gonna like save up my money and go down there once a year to get my instant gratification. And the sad thing is about it, this documentary, like a lot of these men are single, you know, so it's like if you talk so much about not finding a mate here in the U.S., but you're going down to this place that is supposedly perfect, and you still don't have a mate. That says something about you. If you can't, if the place is perfect and you can't find a mate, then maybe the issue is not the U.S. after all. Maybe the issue is just you. You know, I just hate when people complain about a problem and they don't do anything to solve it. They just stay the way they are and complain about the rest of the world. So yeah. But anyway, I know I've been saying a lot of negative things about this, or not negative, but just critiquing this documentary in particular. But I actually think it was a good documentary. It made a lot of good points about basically how men and women are just like not appreciating each other and not focusing on the right qualities, you know. And yeah, do I think like you should be rich? You have to be rich? Me specifically, do you have to be rich to date me? No, of course not. But do you have to have something? Absolutely. Sorry, dog. I'm not trying to be poor. Like, I'm trying to get up out the struggle. We got to get up out the struggle. Like, I want someone who wants to focus on building a family in every aspect of the family. So, is that too much to ask? I don't think so. I don't think so. So, I don't know. It's like a tricky topic, you know. But you know, it really at the end of the day, it's about finding someone who meshes with your standards and has a similar mindset as you and wants the same things you want. But I definitely agree. I definitely think to a certain extent, like if you know, if you're dating and you can't find what you're looking for, then I think at that point you need to do some self-evaluation. So, yeah. So anyway, thank you for listening. Please watch the documentary. It was very good. It was very good. Like when I watch these documentaries, like a lot of times I definitely try to keep an open mind and see the other person's point of view because there was some good points. So yeah. Anyway, that's all I got. Me and Bunky and Littlefoot say have a nice day. Right, Foot? Indeed. All right. You guys have a good night. Bye. Say bye, Foot. Bye.